Dear students, the next topic is action potential. For a long time, the communication between nerves and their target tissue was unknown for physiologists. But after the discovery of electrophysiology and electrical activity of neuron, the communication between nerves and target tissue was due to action potential, due to the generation of action potential. So what is action potential? It is a sudden transient propagation of nerve impulse through a nerve fiber. Normally a nerve fiber is the outside of the membrane is positively charged and inside is negatively charged. This is called the resting membrane potential. Why the outside is positively charged and inside is negatively charged? Outside consists of sodium ions and inside is K plus or potassium ions. So this outside Na plus of sodium ions and potassium ion, the balance is 3:1 ratio. That means for 3 sodium ion only 1 potassium ion is present. That's why outside is positively charged and inside is negatively charged. This is called resting membrane potential. The resting membrane potential of cells varies depending on the cell type. The resting potential for neuron typically sits between -50 and -75 millivolt. This value depends on the type of ion channels that are open and the concentrations of different ions in the intracellular and extracellular fluids. In neurons, K plus and organic anions are typically found at a higher concentration within the cell than outside, whereas sodium ion and chloride ions are typically found in higher concentrations outside the cell. This difference in concentrations provide a concentration gradient for ions to flow down when their channels are open. At rest, most neurons are permeable to K plus, Na plus and Cl minus ion, such as they will all readily flow down their concentration gradients with K plus moving out of the cell and Na plus and Cl minus moving into the cell. However, the cell is most permeable to potassium ion, as such this exerts the greatest influence on the resting membrane potential, and the value is closest to the equilibrium potential of K plus. That means the membrane potential at which the concentration gradient for an ion is balanced out of the three ions. These concentration gradients are maintained by the action of the Na plus K plus ATPase via active transport, which in turn allows the membrane potential to be maintained. This figure demonstrating the ions involved in setting the resting membrane potential as well as the direction of the ion concentration gradients. See, the blue colored arrow shows Na plus ions and the purple K plus and the yellow one is Cl minus ion. When any disturbance in resting membrane potential occurs, that lead to the generation of action potential. When a stimulus is applied to the resting membrane potential or this polarized nerve fiber, what will happen? Depolarization occurs. What is depolarization? The Na plus ion from outside will diffuse into inside and K plus ion from inside will go to outside of the membrane. So this is called activation of sodium potassium pump, or breaking of sodium potassium pump occurs and sodium ion enter inside and potassium ion will come outside, and there will be the generation of action potential occurs. Let we can see what is action potential and how it propagates through a nerve fiber in detail. How generation of action potential occurs? During the resting state, the membrane potential arises because the membrane is selectively permeable to K+. An action potential begins at the axon hillock as a result of depolarization. During depolarization, voltage gated sodium ion channel open due to an electrical stimulus. As the sodium rushes back into the cell, the positive sodium ion raises the charge inside the cell from negative to positive. If a threshold is reached, then an action potential is produced. Action potential will only occur if a threshold is reached. As such, they are described as all or none. If the threshold is reached, then the maximum response will be elicited. Once the cell has been depolarized, the voltage-gated sodium ion channels close. The raised positive charge inside the cell causes potassium channels to open. K plus ions now move down their electrochemical gradient out of the cell. As the K plus move out of the cell, the membrane potential falls and start to approach the resting potential. Typically, repolarization overshoots the resting membrane potential, making the membrane potential more negative. This is known as hyperpolarization. It is important to note that the Na plus K plus ATPase is not involved in the repolarization process following an action potential. Every action potential is followed by a refractory period. This period can be further divided into the absolute refractory period and the relative refractory period. This period occurs as once the sodium channels close after an action potential, they enter an inactive state during which they cannot be reopened regardless of the membrane potential. This is known as the absolute refractory period. Slowly, the sodium channel come out of inactivation. This is known as the relative refractory period. During this period, the neuron can be excited with stimuli stronger than one normally needed to initiate action potential. Early on in the relative refractory period, the strength of the stimulus required is very high and gradually it becomes smaller throughout the relative refractory period as more sodium channel recover from inactivation. Action potential follow all or none principle, all or none law. That means when one stimulus is applied and one action potential is generated, the nerve fiber will allow to complete the one stimulus to go through the entire neuron, then only the next stimuli can pass through it. See here, when action potential is generated, see this portion when it moves through a nerve fiber, this region is actually, this is the polarized nerve fiber, that means charged nerve fiber. Then this is called a depolarized region. So when it moves through a neuron, this region will become repolarized. This is the depolarized and this is the polarized part of the neuron. These are the three regions are there. Let we can see what is refractory period and how the action potential move through a nerve fiber. Propagation of action potential. Action potentials are propagated along the axons of neurons via local currents. Local current flow following depolarization results in depolarization of the adjacent axonal membrane, and where this reaches threshold, further action potential are generated. The areas of the membrane that have recently depolarized will not depolarize again due to the refractory period, meaning that the action potential will only travel in one direction. These local current would eventually decrease in charge until threshold is no longer reached. The distance that this would take depends on the membrane capacitance and resistance. Membrane capacitance, the ability to store charge. Lower capacitance result in a greater distance before threshold is no longer reached. Membrane resistance depends on the number of ion channels open. The lower the number of, the more channels are open. A higher membrane resistance result in a greater distance before threshold is no longer reached. This diagram showing the phases of an action potential in relation to the membrane voltage over time. See here in this diagram, when a threshold stimulus is applied, that may cause depolarization. The peak of the depolarization is action potential, then repolarization occurs, and that dotted line is a resting state. That means when repolarization take place, maximum may show refractory period, and which will again show a resting state. Dear students, there are two types of neurons, myelinated or medullated neuron and non-myelinated or non-medullated neurons. So what is the significance of medullated neuron? Medullated neuron means, or myelinated means, presence of myelin on the axon or throughout the nerve fiber. So what happens when myelin sheath is present? The impulse will jump from one node of Ranvier to another node of Ranvier. It is called saltatory conduction. So we can see how a saltatory conduction occurs in a myelinated neuron. To allow rapid conduction of electrical signals through a neuron and make them more energy efficient, certain neuronal axons are covered by a myelin sheath. The myelin sheath surrounds the axon to form an insulating layer. Myelination improves conduction by increasing the membrane resistance and decreasing the membrane capacitance. There are periodic gaps along the myelinate axon where there is no myelin and the axonal membrane is exposed. These gaps are called nodes of Ranvier. Myelinated sections of the axon lack voltage gated ion channels, whereas there is a high density of ion channel in the nodes of Ranvier. For this reason, action potential can only occur at the nodes. The myelin sheath acts as a good insulator, so the action potential is able to propagate along the neuron at a higher rate than would be possible in unmyelinated neurons. The electrical signals are rapidly conducted from one node to the next, where it causes depolarization of the membrane above the threshold and initiate another action potential which is conducted to the next node. In this manner, an action potential is rapidly conducted down a neuron. This is known as saltatory conduction. This diagrammatic representation shows how the myelin sheath result in saltatory conduction of an action potential along an axon. See axon Hillock, Schwann cell, node of Ranvier, and the red arrow indicates saltatory conduction of action potential. From the above description, I hope you could understand what is action potential and how it is generated. Thank you for watching.